Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the news series. My name is Pooja Dwivedi. Today we are going to discuss ISRO's successful launch of the LVM-3. What is this? What is the significance of it? Everything with respect to your examination of prelims as well as GS mains paper 3rd will be discussed from that perspective only. And these are the many topics that we are going to discuss step by step. So what is the news? First of all, let us look at that. On March 26th, the second commercial launch of Indian Space Research Organization's LVM-3, it saw 36 OneWeb satellites to be placed in the lower Earth orbit, and this was also the second launch that ISRO performed with OneWeb. OneWeb is a UK-based company, remember that, and it is supported by the UK government and India's Bharti enterprises. So remember, this is a prelims statement. Now, if we talk about the highlights of this launch, it was the 6th launch for India's heaviest rocket, LVM-3. It includes the launch of Chandrayaan-2, of course, 6th launch as in the 6 launches of heavy rockets, Chandrayaan-2 has also been included. Second one where it is the second launch where it demonstrated the capability of launching multiple satellites in the lower Earth orbit or low Earth orbit. And the 18th launch of OneWeb satellite brought the constellation's total number of satellites to how many? To 618. Alright, moving ahead to the other important points. The company intends to use 588 active satellites in the first generation constellation in order to provide global connectivity as well as low latency at high speed. Low latency means the buffering speed that you see on your mobile phone, it will be completely, almost prohibited if this works, if this is the, if this is the aim. OneWeb's high speed, low latency solutions will assist in connecting communities, businesses, and governments worldwide, which demonstrate the unparalleled potential of low Earth orbit, so that GT1 geostationary orbit can be, of course, relieved of some sort of abundance that it already has. India's towns, villages, municipalities, and schools, which includes the hardest to reach remote areas, will also be connected by this, and this will be the digital empowerment of India. India actually has been concentrating on increasing its share of the global commercial market ever since the country decided to open its space sector to private players in 2020, because India was one of those few countries which just was doing it for the public sector, the launching of these satellites. Since 2020, the commercialization of space has happened in front of our eyes only. It is one of the world's major spacefaring nations, but it has only 2% of the commercial market at the moment. With 36 OneWeb satellites launched in October 2020, the heavy launch vehicle entered the commercial market, so you can remember this. OneWeb actually was initially supposed to launch its satellite through the Russian Space Agency after the Russian invasion of Ukraine. That plan was dropped. India stepped up when OneWeb needed them the most. Europe's Ariane space was also not viable if we talk about only the Europe region, as it had retired its workhorse Ariane 5 rocket, and there was a significant delay with Ariane 6. Now, this was the reason how India got its lead. Now, the services which are provided to OneWeb, which the space agency had to move around a few of its missions, ended up earning it one of the highest revenues. Over the years, there has been an increase in funds and the space agency which has been generated. The government already plans to increase India's 2% share in the commercial market to 10% by 2030. This is the preliminary statement for prelims examination. Through commercial launches by ISRO and launches offered by private companies like Skyroot as well as 𝐈𝐀𝐒. Moving on, keeping the commercial sector in mind, ISRO has also developed the small satellite launch vehicle, which will provide on-demand launch services commercially. That means any private sector can take the help of a small satellite launch vehicle of ISRO. And then it has a low turnaround time of days and it costs much lesser than the current workhorse PSLV. 2 development flights of the SSLV have already been completed. One is successful, one is partially successful. It has been inducted into the ISRO fleet. Moving ahead. Now, till date, ISRO has launched 384 foreign satellites, and that is from at least 36 countries, with at least 10 which are dedicated commercial missions and several other missions where they were carried by co-passenger satellites. That means different satellites were bundled up together and then launched. The highest number of these commercial launches have been by the companies from the United States. Please remember this. Moving ahead to the next points, a report that is complete data A report of Parliamentary Standing Committee on the Budget of the Space Agency has said that there has been an increase in the revenue which is generated by ISRO's commercial arm, New Space India Limited. So we have to learn about New Space India Limited as well. Take out your Google, get into ISRO's website, and then look at New Space India Limited. This was created in the year 2019, a preliminary fact. And as per the report, revenue generated by this has increased from rupees 1,713 crores in 2021-22 to a projected rupees 3,509 crores in 2023-24. This was an increase of 100%. The committee has also appreciated the achievements of NSIL in such a short period of time. Of course, it was just created in 2019, and recommends the department to provide all support to NSIL to enable them to act as an agency of international character and quality, showing that ISRO can do a lot better than it is doing right now. It is not just the commercial arm. The revenue which is generated by the department has also increased. The committee has noted that the revenue generated by the Department of Space has increased from rupees 929 crore in 2020-21 to rupees 2,780 crore in 2022-23. Data is not very important, but magnitude is important. This is an increase of nearly 200%. And also the budget, with the budget allocation that has been done for 2023-24, it is being the last and the least, it is being the least in the last 3 years. And this is not a very good news. It is suggestive of the fact that the department is transitioning from a research-based institution to commercial institution. That means it can self-sustain itself. So these are the certain facts about the highlights of the project, as well as what India wishes to achieve in the next few years when it comes to its commercialization. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.